Do you know what time it is?
Oh, Nellie, have a heart.
Your supper break is 1 hour. You've been out of yourself for nearly 2.
Even certified lunatics gotta have some kind of recreation.
An hour after supper is plenty. Now back to yourself. Oh, Dr. Stewart will be simply furious if he finds you. Oh, don't be such a stickler, Mama. Why not join the fun? Yeah! We're having a party. We're having a blast. The music is haunting. The dancing is fast. The merry old days when you were mine too. Oh, against the blood of our soul. For anyone lazy, I dance for the blood. You're not to be crazy. You're not to love us. It's breaking the rules of business. We take it on show. And have the deep the prejudice down. She's a dancer slowly in his token clean and bright. And here comes the lion, leading the beast tonight. The lion said that they was young queen of Avalon. And God said to so we're having a party, we're having a blast. The music is haunting, the singing and dance. The lady got diamonds dancing with me. Oh, we're having a rhythm melody. For anyone crazy, I like it a brain. We got to be favored. This time is safe. If really our mystery hunting, we hate it Leon. Like preservation like Mary, you have to be ordinary. It's really a love to live and die. That was lovely. Oh, now back to yourselves, all of you, before I set the dogs on you. Hello? Who? How do you spell that? No, I'm sorry, there's no one of that name here. You must have the wrong number. Oh, there's the doorbell. I've got to go. Nellie, who was on the phone? A wrong number, Miss Mina. Why? Are you expecting a call? Well, no, not exactly. I was just hoping it was Jonathan, or some word about him. No such luck, miss. I'm sorry. Excuse me, I'd better answer that.
Oh, Mina, there you are. My, how lovely you look.
What? Oh, Father, it's you. My mind is rather distracted.
Still mooning about your missing fiancé? Well, I wouldn't worry too much about it, my dear. Any number of reasons we haven't heard from him. Shipping strike, monsoon season, train connections, the possibilities are endless.
Oh, I know I mean, silly goose, Father. And yet there's this nameless dread that keeps nagging at me.
Nonsense. Put it out of your mind. Jonathan can take care of himself. Ah, Sophie, there you are, just in time, my dear.
Thank you, Sam. Mina, dear, you mustn't fret so. After all, Count Dracula is coming to dinner tonight. He will most certainly have some word of Jonathan's whereabouts. Do you really think so? After all, dear, he is the reason Jonathan went off to Transylvania in the first place, to sell him that lovely castle just across the swamp from our little madhouse.
Sophie, I do wish you wouldn't use that term. I much prefer a sanitarium.
Well, Sam, this is a house, and most of the people have gone mad. So why you quibble about what name to call it?
Psychology, Sophie, psychology. After all, madhouse sounds like a place where the screwballs are simply locked up, whereas sanitarium suggests an institution where people come to be cured.
But you haven't cured one of them.
I'm doing the best I can.
But how I wish you were in a more pleasant line of work.
A calling is a calling, and when the summons sounds, a man must follow. Some men go sailing out to sea, some lead a revolution. Lives have design, and I found mine. I belong in an institution. Some thrill at chopping down a tree, some take up elocution. Lives have design, and I found mine. I belong in an institution. Many never know where they ought to go. They live out their lives as sad men. But lucky old me, it's easy to be the gladdest of glad men here with my madmen. Some beg a fee for charity, some make the contribution. But why deny my calling? I belong in an institution. I relish the insane authority. Everybody knows I'm cracked up to be.
Well, I suppose this lifestyle does beat living in a poorhouse. But not by much. How I wish we had better sleeping arrangements. I wish our bedrooms weren't right next to the cell block.
But Mina, there's really nothing to fear. All the doors have stout iron bolts.
Yes, on the outside.
A mere architect's oversight. I do wish he had installed central heating, though. The nights are unusually chilly for August.
They are, aren't they? Ever since Count Dracula moved in across the way. Of course.
I'm not so sure. Ever since he moved in there, there's been this dreadful sense of cold, of dark, of doom.
You're talking nonsense. Why, whatever could the Count have to do with the weather?
It's not the outside air so much. It's here, deep inside of me. The strangest sensation, as of some hidden danger.
But my dear, you've not even met the man.
Nor am I sure I want to.
Nina, mind your manners. After all, the man is royalty.
History is filled with accounts of wicked kings. Why not count? Boo-boo, where in the world have you been? It's nearly dinner time.
Changing gowns. I must have tried out a half a dozen before I found one that seemed suitable.
Suitable for what?
For meeting this Count Dracula, of course. I hear he's ever so handsome, and I want to make good first impressions.
Yes, of course, dear, but isn't that dress rather daring?
Nonsense. Delightful dress. Boo-Boo is a lovely young lady and looks magnificent no matter what she wears. But there is much to be said about proper packaging.
It's rather striking, isn't it? It's a costume from one of the last shows I was in.
You know, I often thought about writing for the theater.
Why, Sam, you never mentioned it to me.
Oh, just a whim, of course. Haven't worked out much more than the opening act, really.
How exciting. Tell us, Father. Do.
Well, you know how in Simply Dreadful plays, the first act begins with the maid answering the telephone and giving out all sorts of vital information? Well, I thought it'd be a real hoot if one started a play like that. And then, instead of giving out information, it would turn out that the call was simply a wrong number.
What a cute idea.
Yes, but there's only one thing wrong with it. The telephone hasn't been invented yet.
Shall we stroll on the balcony, my dear? The moon will soon be rising behind Dracula's castle. It's quite an awesome sight.
Oh, yes, let's do.
Me for high noon any time of day.
But, Boo-Boo, there's something so special about the hours of darkness. A sort of peaceful shroud settling over the whole world.
Kiddo, you've been living in a nut house too long.
But it's so peaceful, so calm, so still.
You could use the same description for a corpse.
I don't care. Whatever the reason, if there's some softly soothing sensation deep inside of me.
Cheering up. I've been ever so maudlin since Jonathan vanished.
I know what you mean. A woman's not really complete unless she has a man around. Company excluded.
Oh, that's just George Renfield, one of the maniacs.
Renfield? Isn't he the one who eats mosquitoes, flies, and spiders?
Yes, but think what we save on slackers. Good evening, Boris.
Hi, Miss Rena. So nice of your father to invite me to dinner.
Dinner? You're joining us for dinner? In heaven's name, why?
It was Mother's idea. There would have been the 5 of us at the table otherwise. Mother thinks there should be an equal number of men and women at tables. Even if one is a little loony.
You know, maybe she's been living in a nut house too long herself.
He's really quite harmless. Just a bit disgusting is all. He has fewer aberrations than many of the inmates. You mean there's something besides his unusual appetite? Well, yes. He has a psychological penchant called contagious enthusiasm. You mean it's catching only psychologically? Explain that. Well, you see, Boris's mother was a gypsy, and gypsies being what they are, he traveled all his life quite a bit. So we have to be very careful what we say, because any mention of a place he's been provokes some sort of, reaction in him. What sort of reaction? He does travelogues.
Travelogues? Is that all? Well, that doesn't sound so bad. I mean, after all, if you've been to a place...
That's not it. It's the way he gives them. That's where the contagious part comes in. He gets his listeners so excited that... So what? Oh, I hope you never find out.
Oh, but Nina...
No, I've said far too much already. It's really not polite to discuss our patient's problems with outsiders.
Oh, come on, Mina. I'm practically part of the family. Now tell me, if we mention a place where he's been and he gives one of these little travelogues, what happens next?
Let's drop the topic. I'd rather not say.
Oh, Renfield. Glad you could make it, old chap.
It's not as if I had any place else to go.
Oh, but Mr. Renfield, you didn't dress for dinner.
These are all the clothes I got. They took the rest of them away when they brought me here.
Don't you fret so, Boris. It's not that you're so badly dressed. It's just that we're all in such fancy togs. In fact, I'll go change into something simpler if you like.
Oh, no need, dear. I simply forgot of Mr. Renfield's lack of clothing for the moment. I don't mind the way he looks. Really.
Well, all right. But it would have given me a nice excuse to get into something simpler. Like perhaps my New Jersey.
New Jersey?
State that I thought was very nice. If you take my advice, you'll turn your faces to the places you can see in good old New Jersey. Patterson and 1850 Centerboro, Jersey City, plus everywhere. Those are Rocky, Middlebury, and Palisades, Washington, Rice and Bridge, Bradford, Beaver, Hackensack, and good old Newark besides. Hey! Hey! Hi! Ho! Hey! Hi! Hey! Ho! Go, gypsy, fly, gypsy, low, gypsy, high, gypsy, la 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 la. Hey!
I see what you mean.
Count Dracula.
Good evening.
I hope my tardiness has not delayed your dinner. Not at all, not at all. Nellie, why haven't you taken the Count's cloak?
I tried. He wouldn't let me. Honestly.
The maid speaks the truth. It is an idiosyncrasy of mine. I hope you do not object. Naturally not. Whatever makes you comfortable is fine by us. But come, Count, let us meet the rest of our dinner party.
Will there be anything else, Dr. Seward?
Not now, Nellie. Thank you.
Very good, sir.
Count Dracula, I'd like you to meet my wife, Sophie.
My dear Count.
Delighted. A friend of the family, Miss Boo Boo Perdue.
Count Dracula.
Shaw. One of my patients, Mr. Boris Renfield.
Master! Flattered.
And my daughter, Mina.
Have we met before?
I think not, Mina. I would not forget such a lovely face.
Can I offer you something to drink?
Later, perhaps. Now that that's out of the way, can we go to dinner?
Oh, yes, let's. I'm simply famished. Mina, dear, don't forget to ask the Count for information of Jonathan's whereabouts.
Jonathan who?
Harker. Jonathan Harker, your fiancé. You can't have forgotten.
What? Oh, no. I haven't forgotten.
I'll ask him right now, and then we'll come and join you in the dining room.
Very well, but don't be too long about it, my dear.
Oh, dear, look at these flowers. I must have Nellie back with some fresh ones. What will the dear Count think of us?
I do hope to be of some help, Count Dracula.
Tell me what you would like me to do.
It's information, that's all, about my missing fiancé.
Jonathan Harker, that is, went to Hungary more than 2 months ago to find your castle there in the Carpathian Mountains, I believe.
That is correct. Though my actual residence is in Transylvania, but I am Hungarian nonetheless.
Oh, I see.
Then he did get there, didn't he? No, wait, I'm being foolish. If he hadn't have got there, then you would be here. Since he couldn't have leashed the property and I'm babbling. Why am I babbling? I've never babbled in my life.
Perhaps you are afraid.
Afraid of you? Nonsense. I mean, never. Why should I be? Just because you're so tall and strong and have the sharpest looking teeth and we're all alone here in this room?
But that is not so terrible a loneliness as it might be. When one is truly alone, cut off from the rest of the world, it is the loneliness of the grave.
What are you saying? What do you want? What are you trying to make me say, make me do?
Nothing. Truly nothing. It must not be that way. When you come to me, it must be of your own accord. Your willingness I crave. You needn't be a slave. Can you not understand the things I plan? If I can't wake on your trust, everything turns to dust. So come away to joys you've never known. Share my love in unexplored delight before the night has flown. What joy is there alone, alone, alone?
Hey, you guys, you're missing your dinner.
I most certainly am.
I really must go. Father would be just furious if we're late. Coming, Count?
Of course, my dear. Perhaps we can become better acquainted after dinner.
Yikes. I must be imagining things. Wow, that's a relief. Must have been a trick of the lights or something. Nothing abnormal going on at all. Except that I'm talking to myself. I've got to calm down. I'm letting this job get to me. So what's in that house? So what? Lots of crazies in the outside world, right? At least in here you can recognize them by their uniforms. Nellie Norton, you're still talking to yourself. And why? What is there to be afraid of? So the nights here are as black as ink, and my sanity is on the brink, as each psychopathic king starts driving me to drink. Still, all in all, I'd like to think it's such a wonderful place to work. Doctors who assist make positive things in every closet, but so some dangers lurk. And my heart is beating like a hammer inside the summer. I'm rather glad, 'cause the pay isn't bad. If the patient's a man as a hatter, it doesn't matter. For out in the mist and murk, just beyond our gate, who knows what dangers wait with handsome strangers.
I'm Dr. Van Helsing. I've come to see Dr. Seward at once on a matter of the gravest urgency.
Do you have an appointment?
I'm not a mental patient. I've come to warn Seward that an undying monster is stalking this household.
Are you sure you're not a mental patient?
Look, I know it sounds that way, but it's nevertheless the truth. Will you get Dr. Seward, or shall I seek him out?
Oh, what the hell. I'll get him. Who did you say is calling?
Dr. Van Helsing. And be sure to tell him the dire urgency of my visit. There are certain things that are so horrible they must be destroyed on sight.
Your hat and coat?
Of course not.
Then whose are they?
Oh, you mean you want to take them? You'll have to excuse my confusion. I'm quite overwrought, I fear.
Are you sure you're not a mental patient?
Me.
That's what they all say. Nellie! What was that awful crash? And who is this unexpected stranger?
This unexpected, handsome stranger.
Well, the crash was the vase that I dropped when he popped up in the hall and nearly scared the pants off me. As to his name...
My name is Van Helsing. Dr. Van Helsing.
Ooh, a doctor. Are you married?
Why, no.
Marvelous. Then may I call you Van?
Well, my first name is Hezekiah.
All the more reason.
My dear sir, I hope you haven't come to dine with us. I do deplore having an odd number at the dinner table. Then why did you invite Count Dracula?
Yeah, he's one of the oddest numbers I've ever met.
Dracula? Here? Then I may already be too late.
Oh, no, there's plenty of dinner to go around.
Dr. Van Helsing, Dr. Seward says he'll join you in here in just a few moments.
Ah, then you conveyed to him the dire urgency of my quest?
Well, I said you were ready to freak out, if that's what you mean.
Good, good. And what of this bizarre guest?
Count Dracula? Well, when I mentioned your name, he got a funny look on his face and said he'd take a stroll in the garden for a while. Doctor, is that what brought you here? Count Dracula? There is something strange about him. I sensed it from the start.
You are most fortunate, young lady, for most persons don't realize the danger until it is too late.
Danger? What danger?
All be in jeopardy from the intended depredations of this unspeakably ravenous creature of the undead.
How's that again?
Have you all heard the legend of the vampire? A creature who's not dead, yet not alive, who draws his sustenance from the veins of the living?
Well, we've all heard it now. But such things are mere peasant superstitions.
Surely you don't believe such things, Doctor.
And even if you do, what has it got to do with us?
I believe Count Dracula may be such a creature.
Now he tells us. But how can one be so sure?
Oh, there are several signs. His nearness can wilt flowers.
Oh.
He casts no reflection in a mirror.
Oh.
One glance from his burning eyes can bind you to his will.
Oh.
And he must return to his coffin before sunrise or die.
I pass.
But there's no time to tell you all the details right now. You must take my warning on faith.
Well, actually, I have heard a little about vampires, but I thought it was all a myth.
A flight of fancy.
A crop of baloney.
Ah, well, that is were the case. But the legend is quite true.
Oh, tell us about it.
I thought you'd never ask. Imagine the terror you'd feel, entrapped by two arms which were stronger than steel, too frightened to fight his malignantly tightening clutch.
Oh, dear, we tremble with fear.
Don't let him get under your skin. He can't enter where no one bids him come in. Although he's insidious, don't dread his hideous clutch. Tell him go away, dry up and blow away.
All this fear or allure on such creatures of graveyard and gore. Simply sets our hearts seething till breathing grows short.
tonight the setting sun can release this hit and run man who'll drag you off where none can hear you screaming.
How outrageous!
One touch of his embrace will enslave you to his base will, and from then on his face will haunt your dreaming.
How outrageous! We heard he sleeps in our hearts until the moon comes up. Then when the Lydian knocks, your number soon comes up.
As the setting sun slowly dips from view, from his coffin he comes crawling. Then once he's begun with his lips on you, you are his.
Oh, it's falling. That is gleaming and falling.
If you're the one he's seeking, it's far too late for shrieking. The moment he comes sneaking near,
Well, have no fear, my dear. That Hungarian hunk will carry on some Hungarian breeze. And if he comes near us, we'll raise a buzz.
you promise me.
We can. We'll carry on. Outrageous.
Van Helsing, what is this dire news you bring to me?
I have reason to suspect that your new neighbor just across the swamp, Count Dracula, may be a vampire.
Nonsense. What you suggest is impossible.
But my dear fellow, if you only knew the
I
facts...
may know more than you think, Van Helsing, and vampire lore itself shows just how wrong you really are.
In what way?
Well, if the legends are true, which I sincerely doubt, a vampire cannot enter into one's home unless he is invited in.
Well, you invited him to dinner, did you not?
Yes, but this was not the first time I met the Count. The first time I met him was in the parlor, the sort of anteroom where I meet the family of my patients. I certainly hadn't invited him in then.
Well, you have a telling point there. He certainly could not have entered into the house without being invited first.
Yes, and when you get right down to it, only a certified lunatic would ask such a creature into his home. Oh, but I'm forgetting my manners. Dr. Van Helsing, I'd like you to meet one of my patients, Mr. Boris Renfield.
How do you do? What's Mr. Renfield's complaint?
He says his mattress is too hard.
No, I mean, what's the nature of his dementia?
Oh, quite a peculiar one. He dines on bugs.
Well, so do the natives of New Guinea. He could well be as sane as you or I.
That's not saying much.
Yes, but his other complaint is certainly certifiable. Have you ever heard of contagious enthusiasm relative to gypsy ancestry manifesting itself into a tendency to guided tours?
Well, of course, who hasn't? Although I never encountered a case of it myself.
Well, you're looking at one.
Fascinating, fascinating.
Can't we discuss my dementia over dinner?
Splendid idea. You'll join us, of course.
But Sam, that'll make an odd number at the dinner table. No, it won't. Count Dracula's gone out.
But he might come back.
Well, don't worry about it. I'm really not very hungry anyway. I think I'll sit here by the fireside and worry about my missing Jonathan. That reminds me, dear, did you get a chance to ask Dracula Jonathan's whereabouts? Well, I started to ask him, but somehow we got off the subject before I ascertained his answer.
Well, time enough to ask him when he returns. Come on, Sophie.
Are you sure you won't join us, Miss Mina?
I'm sure. Go on and have a nice dinner, Boo-Boo.
Your name is Boo Boo? Isn't that a little odd?
It sure beats Hezekiah.
Are you sure you'll be okay, Miss Nina? Yes, Nellie. I'll be fine.
Come on, Nellie, let's go get that yummy cockroach.
Hot roast.
I thought they'd never leave.
You? How did you? Where did you?
From the moment I saw your lovely face, I knew you must be mine. That is the reason I came here this evening.
Before you saw my face? Before you came here tonight?
Jonathan Harker carried your photograph with him.
Jonathan. What have you done with him?
Nothing that cannot be undone, if I have your willing cooperation.
You would use that against me? My love for Jonathan? You would force me to your will by threatening his life?
There is nothing I would not do to have you as my own.
Your hands, they're like ice. But your eyes burn with golden fires.
Don't be afraid. Belong to me. We can't evade our destiny. Look in my eyes. You cannot flee. You realize you're meant to be with me eternally. Come satisfy my enslaving craving, relieve the raving hunger in my heart. It's time to start. Now you shall surely find dark delight. Don't decline. You are mine tonight.
Master, that Helsing is coming. You must fly.
Quickly, my darling. I shall return for you within the hour.
Dracula, stand where you are. Van Helsing. No! The monster has escaped.
Oh my goodness, what's happened?
How's Mina?
Oh my God!
Be quiet, all of you. I was in time.
In time for what? What's going on here?
Well, Dracula tried to take Mina as his bride, but Van Helsing showed up, so Dracula turned into a bat and flew away.
I told you he was nuts.
What really happened?
Precisely what he said. If I had not had this, Mina would even now be off into the night with that foul fiend.
What is that?
A clove of garlic. Vampires cannot bear to have it near them.
Who could blame them? Be you.
You've got to believe me, all of you. We must unite in a combined effort to overcome our monstrous foe.
What foe?
Because I said so.
But, Van, it couldn't have been the Count you saw, because he was taking a stroll in the garden, and I'll swear he never passed back through the house to come up here.
How can I make you understand? What are walls to a vampire, or doors, or staircases? They mean nothing to him, nothing.
Steady, man, steady. You're talking nonsense. After all, this is the 19th century.
What happened? Why am I here on the sofa? The Count? Is he gone? He was never here, dear.
You're just imagining things.
There's nobody here but normal people.
Sucks, man.
But I could have sworn it. It all seems so real. He took me in his arms. He sang the strangest song to me. We danced. And then it all seemed to dissolve. But there were only his eyes. His bright, burning eyes. You were just having a bad dream. Lightheaded you are from having no dinner.
Of course, that's it.
You really should eat something, dear.
Stop it! All of you, stop it! Don't you realize that Mina's in mortal peril? We've got to destroy this monster! He's slowly destroying Mina!
Doctor, you're overwrought.
Then maybe you should have a drink to calm your nerves.
Maybe we should all have a drink. It's been a rather unsettling evening. Nellie?
Thanks, I could use a snort.
I meant for us. And one for yourself, of course.
Not very subservient, is she?
She used to be.
But of late, dear, I do detect a definite difference in her diffident deference. What will everybody have?
Oh, I do suppose a drink would be a good idea. I'll have a scotch and soda with a maximum of scotch and just a mini soda.
Minnesota?
All still that I thought was so very nice. If you take my advice, you'll turn your faces to the places so great in Minnesota State. Known as the Lotus Great Tobogganing, and in that kingdom everyone's a sorry shinny, 'cause they've got no Mayo Clinic, and St. Paul's folks turn unto this new praise many apples, and both of them are mad at the moon. Hey! Hey! Hi! Ho! Hey! Hi! Hey! Ho! Go, gypsy! Fly, gypsy! Low, gypsy! High, gypsy! La, 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 la. Hey!
Really, Mr. Renfield, I do wish you wouldn't do that. It beats watching him eat spiders.
We're getting off the track. Don't you understand? We've got to destroy this monster before he destroys Mina.
Yes, we must. But how? So strong, so swift, so powerful.
We drive a wooden stake through his heart.
What do you mean, we?
All right. I drive a wooden stake through his heart. A stake made from one of the hardest woods there is.
And what wood is that?
The wood of an ash tree.
Well, what's so special about ash?
Well, according to baseball fans, it's the only wood to use for bat.
But, Van, vampires in this day and age,
Yes, I'm sure it's only a mental aberration on the part of the Count. He merely thinks he's a vampire. I'm sure, given the proper opportunity, I could cure him via scientific analysis. I'd be willing to bet on it.
Oh, how big a bet.
Oh, but I didn't mean money.
But you've got to bet him something, Father.
I know, bet him my hand in marriage.
But, Boo-Boo, Sam has no say-so in your wedding. You're not even a member of his family.
That's one point in her favor.
All right, I'll do it. Boo-Boo shall be the bet.
Good. Then it's all settled. You bet your boo-boo, and you bet your ash.
But I warn you all, we must be dreadfully careful. For by day, Count Dracula is as helpless as a kitten and easily approached. But during the hours of the night, no power on earth can destroy him. So long as darkness rules the land, he can render normal human beings helpless with a gesture. Until the rise of the sun in the morning, he can do anything he chooses without fear of failure.
But it is nighttime, and darkness does rule the land.
And the sun won't be up for hours yet.
Say, you're right. In which case, here's Jackie.
Are you all?
Oh, Master, you do things so nicely.
I don't understand. Why aren't you paralyzed by my power, Boris?
Well, like the doctor said, it only works on normal human beings. Master, is it time? Have you come to make me immortal as you are? Will you keep your promises to me at last?
Sure, kid, sure. Look, why don't you go and pack a few things in a suitcase and come back here and we'll go to the castle and wrap matters up, all right?
Yeah, well, we, Master, yes. Fire, 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 fire.
Mina. Come to me, Mina. Now is our moment of triumph. Come.
I cannot. I dare not. I'm too afraid.
You would not fear if you but knew the unearthly blisses to which I summoned you.
Come into my world of endless night. Come into a world of strange delight. Come and find the joy that's waiting for you forevermore. Float through the velvet darkness by my side. Come now, become my bride, I won't be denied. You must be my love, come into my world of endless night, to a moonlit world of strange delight, evermore to breathlessly pursue deathless joy with you, hastening heartbeats hungrily decree that this must come to be. Oh, come now with me, share my delight, ever to be there in the night, sever forever your ties to the waking world. Come partake my world.
Master, ready or not, here I come, all dressed up and ready to go. Don't leave without me.
Quickly, my darling, we must fly.
Oh, it's a 400-foot drop to Jack and rocks below.
I know, but keep hold of my hand and you'll be safe.
Are you sure?
No, but there's one way to find out.
Hey, come back! You promised!
Look! Riding the winds of darkness, a gigantic bat, flying towards the castle of Dracula!
Cut. Brian.
You fool! Do you still refuse to believe me?
Well, Doctor, it is a little bit far-fetched. Giant bats, indeed.
Then you are asking us to swallow quite a tall story.
Are we in time?
In time for what?
Who are you anyhow?
We are angry villagers seeking out the crypt of Count Dracula, so we may destroy him.
Well, where are your torches? In the rack in the downstairs hall.
Didn't want to smoke up the parlor.
But confound it, this is England. We don't have any angry villagers.
Oh, but we're not from England. Then where are you from?
Where else?
All the way from Transylvania in a cannibal hole, filled with grits and gruesome mania, accumulations of gold, all crammed on a tiny bench. We sat in the stink and stench, despite the disgusting miscellanea, and didn't need to be consoled. Oh, when there's a creature to destroy, our little hearts go fairly bouncing out with joy. We never mind the grind of traveling, if we can do the things we all adore. We take our torches from the rack and sing and shout as we set out upon his track. If he's in Germany or Burma or the jungles of Ecuador, we all set out to find his coffin with the wolf and a mighty roar. Serve buttermilk and sure he trips galore, 'cause that's what villagers are for. That's what we're for. That's what we're for. Oh, yeah!
There, you see? That proves that vampires exist.
What? The opinion of a bunch of illegal aliens? Don't be ridiculous, Van Helsing.
There's no time to argue. Redfield, can you lead me to your master's lair?
What? Approach a vampire's castle by crossing the swamp on foot in the middle of the night with a thunderstorm approaching? Only a crazy man would try it.
But you are a crazy man.
Then what are we waiting for?
Yay!
Of all things. scoffed at all their fears.
Beggars who they may grab us unaware. Despite those bedtime warnings, something whispers in our ears. We go merrily upstairs while whimpering our prayers. Why should we shoot the bolts? Because a wolf begins to bark. Why panic as the daylight fades away?
How foolish to suppose there's frightening danger in the dark.
It's a stupid superstition. We pray. Whenever any myth occurs that cannot be explained.
Misguided presence tend to lose their heads.
Babble of the beastly things the darkness has unchained, but we ring the thread from underneath our bed.
Man who turns into a bat and out as he lays bare. So natural and not yet understood.
The one that horror stories gives us impulses and here we would balk at exhibition of the trimmest premonition. It's a stupid superstition.
Fire's about out. I suppose we all should go to bed.
But we can't lock up until Dr. Van Helsing and Renfield return.
But what if they never return? Don't say such things, Nellie. Surely they're all right. They have to be all right.
And why do you say that?
Well, for one thing, Van is the first unmarried doctor I've ever met. How many chances like that does a girl get?
Van Helsing! Renfield!
Van, you're safe, you're alive. I can't tell you how pleased I am to see you.
Well, what about me?
You can tell him how pleased you are, Boris. Did you have any luck?
Regrettably, no. We wandered in the swamp for hours, but it was though an evil spell was cast about the place. No matter how many times we tried to reach Dracula's castle, it seemed to elude us, to turn us about, to lose us in a maze of water and moss and mist.
But if you've been wandering through the swamp, why aren't your trousers soggy?
Well, we didn't want to go in too deep.
No point in catching cold.
But what about all those villagers you left with?
They're still searching. If the quicksand didn't get them.
Good grief! What are you ladies wearing?
Why, just long white nightgowns and long white peignoirs.
But don't you know that a woman is almost invariably wearing a long white trailing garment when a monster carries her off to his lair?
Do we ever?
Sophie, what are you saying?
Well, mostly it was Boo Boo's idea. She said it was a sort of theatrical tradition.
Because that's exactly what it is. As year succeeded year and my theatrical career progressed from carrying the spear to being all the rage. I moved from caviar for cruiser by learning nothing's duller than wearing the wrong color when you enter on a stage. The lady in green must be ever so serene, moving calmly through each scene of the play. Just for the lady in white, the lady in white, you can get carried away. The lady in blue, she can bore you through and through. Her politeness is to distinct case. But as the lady in white, you can get carried away. The actress wearing tan never winds up with the man
Never mind all that tummy rot. What's become of Mina?
Sam, you saw the monster snatcher.
But we may have merely imagined the entire incident.
What? Then tell me this. If the monster didn't snatch Mina, then where is she?
What's going on? You woke me out of a sound sleep.
Does that answer your question, Van Helsing?
What did we tell you? Perfectly safe and sound.
But why has she got a bandage about her throat? What? This. I cut myself shaving.
Shaving what? You don't have a beard, do you?
No. That's why I was shaving.
Oh, I'd very much like to see that cut.
No, I won't let you. Father, make him stop. Kept pushing me dreadfully. Send him away.
All I wanted was a quick peek.
I won't let you.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to let him have a look now, would it, dear?
After all, the man is a doctor. Well, so is Father, and if someone must look, I'd rather it were he.
Well, that seems fair enough. Let us have a look. Mina, did you say shaving?
She certainly did. We all heard her. Why?
Because it doesn't seem to be a cut, but rather punctures.
Aha! 2 small punctures, about an inch apart.
Well, actually, there are 3.
3? Then Dracula's even more of a monster than I imagined. Dr. Seward, are you absolutely sure?
I'd be willing to stake my reputation as a doctor on it.
That's not saying much.
Enough of this. I'm very tired, and unusually weak, and somewhat paler than usual. I think I'll go to bed.
Splendid idea. We could all use some rest. Come along, Sophie.
Oh, yes, Les. It has been an extremely long evening. You can say that again. Aren't you coming, Mr. New? No. I think I'll stay and chat with the doctor for a little bit.
Come along, Renfield. It's time to lock you up for the night.
But I only mysteriously get out as I always do.
Rules are rules. What you do after you're safely locked in your cell is your own business.
I feel so helpless. Why can't I get no one to believe me?
Well, if you'd stop making such loony claims all the time. They are rather hard to credit.
But Boo-Boo, if I could only convince you, that would be something, at any rate.
I would love to be convinced, Van. But you talk so nutty. Well, let's talk about something else. Tell me about your work.
Nothing much to tell. Usual sort of thing. Driving wooden stakes through hearts, incinerating coffins, dragging the dead out to see the sunrise. Just a run-of-the-mill medical profession.
Of course it is, dearest. Now, let's talk about us.
Us? What do you mean, us?
You know, you and me, both together, hand in hand, facing the future together, man and wife.
But Boo-Boo, do you have any notion to what marriage to a man in my line of work would mean? I fear I'd make a horrid husband. You'd be a most unhappy bride. I could not ask you, dear, to share my work, where perils lurk on every side. Yet could I bear it if I was banned from my true work for love of you? No, no, I'm forced to spurn you, for my dear, I know I'd turn you off with every coffin barbecue.
How very kindly your feelings are, but I don't smartly as with a man who's so bizarre, so evil.
Though I might make a horrid husband, there's something to be said for glue. Although I'd wander far from your embrace, I'd see your face in every tune.
I turn you to a torrid husband whenever
the hell, though I am seldom here to see. Let's try to relish endless love infrequently.
I think there's a storm coming up.
I don't like this. Thunderstorms make wonderful weather for weirdos.
Stop being such a spook. Let's chat about our wedding.
Well, how can I concentrate on bliss when I'm so worried about Mina?
Mina, always Mina. Mina this, Mina that. Sometimes I wonder if you don't care more for her than you do for me.
But I'm only concerned about her well-being. Haven't you noticed how strange her conduct has become?
What a night. Black skies, icy rain, gale force winds. I think I'll take it slow.
Strange in what way?
Mina's not in her room.
Her door is wide open.
Her bed hasn't been slept in.
And the galoshes are gone.
Mina doesn't own any galoshes.
Well, I looked in her closet, and somebody's galoshes are gone.
That almost makes sense.
I hope she hasn't gone out of doors, not on a night like this.
She could catch pneumonia.
If something doesn't catch her first.
Oh, will you cease that foolish boulder dash about monsters and such?
Well, I'm only concerned about her well-being. She's already been bitten by a vampire once.
Once and a half. Well, you said there were 3 punctures.
And what does it matter how many times she's been bitten?
Well, the first time makes her his slave. The second time renders her too weak to run away. And the third?
Yes, yes.
The third assault upon Mina will make her into that same dreaded thing that he himself must forever be.
Hungarian?
Look, you've all seen the signs of the supernatural. Those wilted flowers. He cast no reflection in the mirror. He came upstairs to the dining room without using the stairs. What does it take to convince you?
Van, I think the nub of the problem is that there is no way you can convince us that Count Dracula is a vampire until you first convince us that vampires truly do exist.
That's it! Maybe if you see for yourself in black and white.
See what in black and white?
The truth about vampires.
Oh, Sam, do you think it is true?
Well, we'll see for ourselves soon enough.
And what if everything Dr. Van Helsing told us is true? Then what do we do?
Hush, my child. First, let us find the proper page. Oh, look, Sophie, the Grand Canal. Remember our vacation there?
That's Venice, Dr. Seward. You went too far.
Sam, you promised you'd never tell.
In the book. Turn back a few pages.
Huh, yes. Oh, here we are, vampires.
Just a minute, Sam. I got a little behind.
Not from this angle.
No! There you!
Really, Van Helsing?
Even this disgusting lunatic has better manners than that.
Thanks, Nellie. I think.
I apologize. Now read. For at every passing moment your daughter is in increasing danger at the hands of this insidiously cruel and callous foreigner.
California? All state that I thought was so very nice. If you take my advice, you'll turn your faces to the places you may stay in California. All the lower Monterey, Bernie smell throughout the free. El Camino, Santa Cruz, and Citrus College in Azusa. San Francisco's eager guides in Sacramento, Fresno, Bakersfield, and Cucamonga besides. Hey! Hey! Hi! Ho! Hey, hi, hey, ho! Go, gypsy fly, gypsy low, gypsy high, gypsy low, la, 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 la.
Well, if we can just get back to the encyclopedia.
Look, it's Miss Mina.
What did I tell you, Van Helsing?
Perfectly normal. And safe and sound.
Are you crazy? Just look at her. She's 2/3 on her way to Vampireville already.
Nonsense. Sam! Did you see that? And if everything Van has told us is true, then what do we do? Stop listening to his lies. He should be locked up with the rest of the lunatics. Anyone can see that I'm my same sweet old self. Nellie, when was the last time you dusted this mirror? I can hardly see a thing in it.
Good heavens, did you see that?
Those flowers! And that reflection! You don't suppose that everything Dr. Van Helsing told us is true?
Of course it's true. And we've got to save Mina now. How? We take her in the bedroom. We tie her to the bed. And we rub her entire body head to toe with garlic.
How can I help? How can I? You're going back to your cell.
It won't do any good. He'll just get out like he always does.
And you're going to lock things up for the night so that ghastly creature won't come back here.
What good will it do? Locked doors don't stop vampires.
We'll at least go to show him we highly disapprove of his conduct. Come along, all of you. We've got to get Mina Garlic down for the night.
It's gonna smell worse than that pot roast, poor kid.
Pot roast was fixed with garlic?
It always is.
Well, then that explains why Dracula went for a stroll instead of joining us in our wonderful meal.
Don't remind me. That should help a little. At least it looks too solid for anyone to pass through. I just wish they hadn't left me alone.
They didn't.
Count Dracula, what do you want?
Food. Sustenance. A little snack to tide me over until Mina gets rid of that garlic.
Can I offer you a drink?
I thought you'd never ask.
Wait, stop. I didn't mean that the way it sounded.
Oh, come now, Nellie. Cease this useless attempt at evasion. I cannot be escaped. Why try to fight?
I can think of several reasons. All puncture marks.
Then you saw Mina's little, shall we say, souvenirs.
Shall we say battle scars? Say, how come there were 3 of those thingies on her neck?
Well, unfortunately, my castle is infested with rather large mosquitoes.
That can't be much fun. You ought to hire an exterminator.
Why do you think I hooked up those Renfields? But enough. Come to me, Nellie. Come to me now.
No, go away. I don't like you. You're spooky.
Ah, the little flower trembles with anticipation.
The little flower's about to belt you in the snoot.
Nonsense! Gaze deeply into my eyes and see the longing, the yearning that must make you bend to my will.
I don't want to. I won't. Keep away from me, you creep.
Don't be afraid. Belong to me.
It's rather late.
We can't evade our destiny.
I'd rather wait.
Look in my
They're only
eyes.
red,
You cannot flee.
but I can try.
You realize
Don't lose your head.
you're meant to be.
Let's not be
with
hasty.
me
I have other
eternally.
fish to fry. You're not my
Come
type.
satisfy my
I feel like
craving.
running off to hide.
Craving.
I'd like to
Relieve
say
the
I never
raving
understood
hunger in my heart.
the
It's time to start. Now you shall surely
If you
find
think I'm
delight.
to
Don't
be your
decline.
drinking
You
fountain,
are mine
better think
tonight.
again.
Oh, come on!
Oh, what the hell? Why not? Ah,
What the hell have you been eating?
just a little pot roast. What's the
the matter? Too much garlic?
Don't you ever brush your teeth?
Listen, kiddos, your breath is no bed of roses. The last time I smelled anything like that, I was taking a tour of the slaughterhouse.
Keep away from me.
But I thought you said you wanted me.
Not anymore.
Oh, come on.
What's wrong? We heard unearthly screaming.
That was me, singing.
What's there to sing about?
Well, Count Dracula was just here, but he turned into a bat and flew away.
Oh, then it wasn't just coincidence.
What was it? Mina just did the very same thing. Turned into a bat and flew away.
Yes, right toward Dracula's castle.
That's horrible. We've got to save her.
Right. Nighttime or not, we've got to go find this monster and destroy him once and for all. Who's with me?
Me!
Let's go.
Consult with an expert.
Don't look at me.
But you're the only expert in the room.
And I'm all out of garlic.
Now, hurry back to the kitchen and get some more garlic.
We used it all up on the pot roast.
Well, go get that.
But, Boo-Boo, you can't swat a member of royalty with a pot roast.
We can sprinkle him with the gravy.
Silence! It is useless to resist. I'm too powerful.
You forget, Count Dracula. The sunrise will be up in a matter of moments.
But by then I shall be hidden, safe in the depths of my castle, and Nina shall be with me.
We'll find you, and we'll destroy you.
Not if I destroy you. All of you before I go.
No, you wouldn't.
That's all you know.
Enough! You cannot move. Not one of you, not so much as a little finger.
Good grief, he's right. I feel as if I'm sentencing her.
Oh, Ben, is there nothing you can do?
Without my garlic, I'm powerless.
Then we all are doomed.
Of course you are. You haven't got a chance. You needn't fight the grave. One flicker of my glance, and you're a helpless slave. You can save Mina now. She's mine eternally. With my powers immortal, there's no way to thwart my decree. You are helpless to outrun disaster. None can master me. Now all of you, prepare to die.
All? Surely you don't mean me.
Doris, you can lose.
That's right. His powers only work on normal people.
Save us, Boris.
You're the only one who can.
Please, please. Nice nutso. Nice nutso.
I'm afraid you're all wasting your breath. For even if Boris is free to move about, he is still slave under my power, and therefore must do anything that his master chooses.
Massachusetts?
A state that I thought was so very nice. If you take my advice, you'll turn your face to the place of regret. In Massachusetts, I guess. I had this haunted as a kid. Submarine that wanted full of romance. Massachusetts is the key. White, Chelsea, Cambridge, Somerville, and good old Massachusetts. La 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 la. Hey!
Quickly! Grab him quickly while he's still reeling from the death. He can't use his powers when he's dizzy. Back!
Ooh, you cannot kill one of the undead.
Well, we're sure gonna give it a try.
No weapons.
Yes, we do. We all had pot roast with garlic for dinner.
We can pin him down.
And breathe him to death.
Yeah.
Shut up! I'm quite recovered now. And you're all going to pay the dread price for trifling with me.
Prepare to die. No. You prepare. Look in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a Superman.
No. It's even better. It's the blessed dawn.
Now! Sunlight! Too long have I tarried. Boris, this is all your fault, you and your contagious enthusiasm. I feel faint. Oh, I've got to lie down. It is kind of pretty. No, I can't. Wait. Why I'm lying in here, catatonic and helpless? Please, be kind.
Quickly. Who's got a mallet? Here. Quickly. And who's got a stick?
I think I've got one in my pocket.
Boo-boo. My, you're full of surprises.
Here, I'll hold. You hammer.
But Boo-boo, I thought my work disgusted you.
Well, a wife should support her husband in his career. After all, marriage should be founded on trust.
Well, naturally, but what does holding the stake have to do with trust?
I'm trusting you don't match my thumb with that mallet.
Isn't that just the most romantic thing you've ever heard?
It surely is.
Take the mallet in your hand, for my dear, I understand. When the stake eye starts to shove, it's the tippy tap of love.
Oh, whoa!
There is something so benign with your cheek so close to mine. As the gore gets on your glove, it's a tippy tap of love.
Oh, no! The magic moment starts, and your prey gets depressed.
That's the pounding of your heart to the pounding on his chest.
Whoa!
What's going on? I feel as though I've woken from some terrible dream.
Boy, did you ever miss the excitement.
We are all most fortunate, for most vampires do not perish without a struggle. And Count Dracula certainly struggled against his destruction with might and main.
Maine? Never been there.
But with Count Dracula gone, how are we to know what has become of Jonathan?
No need to worry, Mina, for you see it is I, Jonathan Harker. Dracula held me prisoner in his dungeon in Transylvania, but I escaped, disguised myself as a peasant villager, and found the first group heading out to seek the Count.
It must have been awful for you.
It certainly was. Well, I can tell you tales that would curl your hair.
So we noticed.
But enough of this idle chatter. Let me be reunited with my loved one after oh so many lonely weeks. Darling.
Jonathan! That woman you are embracing! That's the family maid, Nellie Norton!
Of course it is. Who did you think he was coming back to?
But the day you left, you gave her note that said, "My dearest darling, when I return, you shall be my bride."
Yes, that is true, but the note was intended for Nellie.
Then why did you give it to me to read?
I was bragging. Oh, my darling, hold me. Oh, my darling, hold me.
This one's taken too. Well, I can see in this race of romance I got a bit behind.
Vampires will stoop to anything.
I ain't got no one to hug, Miss Mina.
But Boris, you're a certified
but in a family like yours, who'd ever know?
Well, you've got a point there.
I'm indicated now.
Except for me, my dear. How sweet to know, go on turning.